Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge. Welcome back. I missed you. I hope you're doing alright. As I'm sure you're aware, with the return of the Winter Village, Star Stable has released a brand new Trailblazer track. This season is titled the Trail of Midwinter. So today we're going to do a complete overview, how the trail works, best practices, what's the quickest way for you to get everything unlocked, and maybe which option might be the most lucrative for you. This video is going to be a little bit different than the other ones I've done regarding past Trailblazer tracks because, well, we've learned a lot. And also, there's some community practices that I've been made aware of that might wind up working out for you instead. So this time around, I have a couple of different options, and hopefully one of them meets your needs. If you need to, there are timestamps for different sections of this video, as well as in the description, so you can skip around to parts that you might find more interesting. But first, an overview. To start, in order to open up the Trailblazer Track menu or UI, you're going to press the little compass icon on the bottom right of your screen. Sorry, I don't know where it is on mobile. It might be the same. Or you can press 2 on your keyboard. Now, the UI is going to tell you a couple of things. First, it's going to tell you where you are as far as like what milestones you've completed. It'll tell you how many points you have until your next milestone. Up at the top left, you'll see that there is an end date for how long you have to complete the Trailblazer track. And there's also a question mark. Going into the question mark, you will find an overview about the Trailblazer track, an FAQ section, as well as settings for the Trailblazer track. If you ever have questions about the Trailblazer track, specifically what kinds of activities count, how many points you get, all of that information is found in the question mark. We're still going to be going over it here though. Back on the main page, you'll see a couple of other things. You'll see all of the rewards you can get from level 1 all the way to level 35. One of the more important buttons you'll see on this page is this Claim Daily Points button. You're going to want to do that every day because it's going to get you 450 points towards your next milestone. The second button you'll see is the Claim All Rewards button. Let's just quickly get to our next milestone. So now you can see once you've reached any milestone, the next one you can claim will light up this lighter blue color, and in order to claim it, you're just going to hit the Claim All Rewards button. You don't have to claim these one at a time. You can have multiple milestones kind of queued to be claimed. Just pressing the button will claim everything all at once. It is worth noting though that the rewards for the Trailblazer track are only available for Star Riders, which means that anybody can earn points towards the milestones in Trailblazer track, but you can only claim them if you are a Star Rider. That said, if you have a free Star Rider coupon, or you haven't activated your account to get your free Star Rider trial, it's still worth unlocking as many milestones as you can because if you happen to get a free Star Rider coupon, you can activate it and then claim the rewards. So now that you understand what the Trailblazer track is, let's talk about how you earn points. So earning points on the Trailblazer track revolves around how many activities you complete. An activity is anything from doing blue daily chores or the yellow exclamation point quests, doing races. Generally, most things that you can get experience for count. The only things that don't count are repeatable races. So anything that has a purple exclamation point will not count. Another thing is sometimes the races over at Starshine Ranch, in order for it to count as an individual activity, you have to queue each of those races, either solo or opponent, as one race at a time. If you do all 4, if you queue as many of them as you can, it'll only count as one activity. So as far as when the Trailblazer track is active, if you're trying to maximize how many points you get, I suggest queuing individually for each race. And bonus, when it comes to activities that are in the Winter Village, doing the ice carving with Alex, it's one activity to complete her daily quest. It's another activity for each ice block you carve. So if she's got 4 ice blocks that you can carve a day, that's 5 activities in one. So now as far as points you get per activity, it's not dependent on which activity you do that earns you more points or not. It's about how many activities you do. So if you look at this chart, activities 1 to 4 will grant you 100 points for each activity. Activities 5 through 8 will grant you 80 points. 9 to 12 will grant you 60 points, and anything that you do past 12 will only get you 10 points per activity. You'll hear me say later that the bare minimum is 12 tasks or activities. This is what I'm referring to because anything past 12 will only get you 10. So if you want to maximize how quickly you can get it done, you only need to do 12 activities. But we'll talk more about that in a second. There are other ways to get points along the Trailblazer Track that aren't activities though. While activities will grant you the bulk of your points, you can also earn 1 point per firefly, plant or flower harvested, recyclable picked up, and snowflake gathered in the Winter Village. Historically, in past Trailblazer tracks, I've said to not bother with this, but I've actually changed my mind. It is a great way to supplement the points you're earning, especially if you are already gathering plants and fireflies as part of Farah's and the Path of Magics in Valedale. If you're already doing that, especially since fireflies are a great way to bank and save money in Star Stable, I highly recommend including fireflies as part of your Trailblazer track training point earning methodology. We'll talk more about that when it comes to the more lucrative ways to get points. So let's talk about two different approaches on how to complete the Trailblazer track. The first way we're going to talk about is with the lowest effort. So let's say you're someone who maybe doesn't play or log in that often, or you maybe only have about a half hour a day to do your dailies. You're going to want to do the bare minimum approach, which means collecting your daily login bonus of 450 points, doing your 4 100-point tasks, your 4 80-point tasks, and your 4 60-point tasks for a total of 1,410 points a day. So there are 35 milestones of things to unlock along the Trailblazer track this season, which equates to 35,000 points, because each milestone is 1,000 points. If you do your bare minimum 12 tasks plus your daily login bonus, your 1,410 points every day, you'll be able to complete this Trailblazer track in 24.8 days. You can round that up to 25 days if that is all you're doing, or if you do a couple of extra tasks here or there, you can get it a little bit earlier. That said, you do have to be diligent and make sure you're actually completing it every day or most days, because as the day I'm uploading this on December 6th, there are 33 days left in the trail. You'll still have a buffer if you start right away. Just keep in mind that if you decide to do the bare minimum, you do have to keep up with it every day, if not most days. You'll have about 8 days of grace if you start right away, so just try not to miss too many days. That said, let's say you see this video a little bit later, and you now need to calculate how much you need to do in order to complete the Trailblazer track on time. There's a little bit of an equation you can do to figure out how many points you need to get a day. First, you're going to count how many days are left from when you are starting until January 8th. Then you're going to calculate how many points you still need on the Trailblazer track. Remember that each milestone is 1,000 points, and don't forget to subtract the amount of points you've currently earned on your current milestone. So in order to show a practical example, let's say I have 13 days left of the Trailblazer track, and I've reached level 15 of the milestone, and I have 250 points towards my next milestone. I have 20 levels left minus the amount of points I've already earned towards the next one. So 20,000 minus 250 gets me 19,750. That's how many points I need to get in order to complete the Trailblazer track. From there, you're just going to divide that number from how many days you have left, and you'll figure out how many points you need to earn per day. In this case, I need to earn 1,520 rounded up. So in addition to my bare minimum of 1,410 points, I need to earn 110 additional points. And you can do that just by running around and collecting fireflies in Hollow Woods, or snowflakes in Winter Village. Or if you really wanted to, you could do 10 races, you could do stable chores in 3 towns, plus 1 additional chore or race somewhere else. You just need to make up the difference of what's not covered by the bare minimum. And as far as completing your bare minimum as fast as possible, you got tons of options. I recommend doing things that you're already going to be doing. If you are going to be running around the Winter Village, do all of the races that are available, do Alex's ice carving. If you don't think you're going to make it to the Winter Village, or you just need to do something quick, check out what's around your home stable or wherever you're at. If your home stable is Moorland, for example, and you have, let's say, all of the races unlocked in the area, you have the outside stable chores, which is 3 tasks. You have Julie's additional stable chore you can do every day, so that's 4. You can do the chores inside your stable. That's 3 additional chores. You're already a little more than halfway there. You can do the 3 Bobcats jumping courses, and your last 2, you can choose to either do both of Loretta's races, or you can do the other 2 shorter races around Moorland itself. Let's say you're inspired to move to the Silverglade Equestrian Center after the recent update. You got your inside stable chores, you have the outside stable chores, you have dressage, you have the 3 races that are at the arena down the hill, and then you have Yelena's 2 equitation races. that's 12. And that's not even counting the gardener's race, going to the nearby racetrack, doing your actual, like, taking care of your horses, because doing all 4 chore activities on 1 horse counts. There are options for literally every home stable. In fact, especially around Trailblazer time, I recommend moving your stable to the area that you like doing those activities the most. And now for the second option, the more lucrative way to finish the Trailblazer track. And by lucrative, I mean money. So I've seen on Tumblr, I've seen it a little bit on Reddit, people recommending trying this option instead to complete the Trailblazer track faster. And it all revolves around hollow woods, collecting light, doing your gardening, and just all of the Path of Terra stuff. So let's go to Valedale and test it out for ourselves. I'm also shutting off the snow filter because it's getting a little hard to see. So over at the Druids section, particularly the Path of Terra, there are some crafting tables. Now, apparently, crafting things like hay actually count as an activity. So apparently what a lot of people like to do is craft hay. I craft a couple of other things that I want to test out, and we'll also test out hay. Notably, I do extract light a lot because I have like an abundance of seeds, and it's honestly pretty great to get 100 light per 5 seeds, especially if you have a surplus. So let's test this one out first, but I don't think this one works. So extracting light did not earn me points. Crafting travel dust does not earn me points. Crafting hay also doesn't give me points. How about fertilizer? Let's do a rarity fertilizer. No. Okay. So I also did see a rumor that they possibly patched that. Probably because people were exploiting it and they didn't really like that. So now you know. Now, quite honestly, I don't know if they're going to bring that back. I guess if they do, you can try it. I've never done this method just because there's other methods that I tend to like better. That said, gardening in Valedale is still a good way to get points. So if you have a full garden, each flower is going to get you 1 point. Obviously, like we've mentioned, the fireflies will each give you 1 light. And additionally, the various activities that you can do around Hollowwood, like chasing the will-o'-wisps, doing the runestone puzzles. If you have the quest unlocked, finding any of the 6 roaming magical horses in the Hollow Woods, opening trapped satchels, the other larger runestone puzzles that you have to like match the symbol, all of those count as individual activities. So if you're the type of person who like has the time and you're running around Hollowwoods anyway because you're maybe trying to save some money and trying to earn some light so you can maybe afford all the things down at the Winter Village, this may be the better option for you to actually, you know, complete the Trailblazer track. Especially if you're going to be doing it anyway. And that's kind of the big, the name of the game, honestly, for the Trailblazer track. Because the whole point of the Trailblazer track is to reward you for the things that you're already doing in the game. So if you're the type of player who you have the time and you're already running around Hollowwoods, again, keep doing the things you're doing. That's the whole point, is to just do the things that you like to do and you'll be rewarded for playing. If you just idly play the game, you'll see pretty quickly that the 100s will very quickly turn to just 10s because you've already completed your bare minimums. And honestly, that's pretty great. But I'm not done talking about best ways to maybe make the Trailblazer track a little bit more lucrative for you. For starters, take advantage of the event dailies. They pay out pretty well as far as horse experience and shillings go. If you tend to be more on the move and you like to explore the world a little bit more, challenge yourself to clear your chore list by completing all the chores at all of the different stables. If you have archaeology in Epona unlocked, get your extra interesting finds. I suppose you could get the blue fossils as well because that also counts, but the real money is the orange fossils. The orange fossils will give you 1 of 4 extra interesting finds. A tin soldier, a Yorjitsu badge, a half-rotten book page, and an antique amulet. You can take any of those items over to Walter Winterfell and trade them in for other rewards. Keep in mind though, tin soldiers and Yorjitsu badges, you need to trade in 2 at a time in order to get a reward. Now this might not seem like a lot, but I traded in 8 days worth of stuff to Walter Winterfell and I got about 15,000 shillings. Now, that's maybe a video for another day. I mean, that was kind of like a really good overview. But if you want to combine your star stable saving money banking habits with the Trailblazer Track, fossils is another great way to do it because it's 4 activities and you're also adding to your bank of Jorvik. Another great way to combine earning money with the Trailblazer Track is doing championships. Every time you do a championship, it counts as an activity. And bonus, no matter where you place, you earn money. Whether you place 1 to 3rd and you get a ribbon, or you place anywhere else and get 200 shillings, that's still money. And even better, it's money that can go into storage because you'll get your rewards in your mailbox and you don't have to claim them. Well, I guess until your mailbox is full, but honestly, I don't even know what the limit is, so I haven't hit it yet. And not to mention, the championship ranks are also coming back next week. So you'll be earning points on the Trailblazer Track, earning points towards your championship rank, and earning money for your bank. That's a 3-in-1. Championships OP. Sorry, I just love when everything is just streamlined so nicely. At the end of the day though, there is no right or wrong way to complete the Trailblazer Track. The best way to do it is the way that you have the most fun and the way you're more comfortable doing it. If you maybe don't get a lot of time to play during the week, but you have lots of time to play on the weekend, do just the bare minimum during the week with collecting your daily points plus your 12 maybe stable tour tasks. See if you can do it in 10 minutes. And then on the weekends, take your time and maybe run around Hollow Woods and gather some light in addition to completing your Trailblazer Track. If you're not really great with planning, hop on for the vibes and just see how long it takes you to get to only 10 points after each activity. It's not a race. You don't need to complete the track in just the week. You don't even need to complete it until the very last day. You don't need to complete it at all if you don't want to. At the end of the day, it's just a way to keep us engaged and playing the game as long as we can. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe because I put out lots of Star Stable videos, mostly Star Stable videos. I try to cover every Wednesday update and more. Let me know what your favorite way to complete the Trailblazer Track is, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!